The common cold, also known simply as a cold, is a very infectious disease of the upper respiratory tract that primarily affect the nose, throat, sinus, and the larynx. Signs and symptoms may appear less than 2 days after exposure to the virus. This may include coughing, sore throat, runny nose, sneezing, headache, and fever. People usually recover in 7 to 10 days, but some symptoms may last up to 3 weeks. Occasionally, these with other health problems may develop pneumonia. Signs and symptoms. The typical symptoms of a cold include coughing, runny nose, sneezing, nasal congestion, and sore throat, sometimes accompanied by muscle aches, fatigue, headache, and loss of appetite. Sore throat is present in about 40% of cases and a cough in about 50%, while muscle aches occur in about half. In adult, a fever is generally not present, but it is common in infant and young children. The cough is usually mild compared to that accompanying influenza, while a cough and a fever indicate a higher likelihood of influenza in adult. A great deal of similarity exists between those two conditions. A number of the viruses that cause the common cold may also result in asymptomatic infection. The color of the mucus and nasal secretion may vary from clear to yellow to green and does not indicate the class of agent causing the infection. Causes. Number 1. Viral causes. The common cold is a viral infection of the upper respiratory tract. The most commonly implicated virus is a rhinovirus. Other commonly implicated viruses include human coronavirus, influenza virus, adenovirus, human respiratory syncytial virus, enterovirus other than rhinovirus, human parainfluenza virus, and human metapneumovirus. Frequently, more than one virus is present. In total, more than 200 viral types are associated with cold. Number 2. Transmission. The common cold virus is typically transmitted via airborne droplet, direct contact with infected nasal secretion, or fomites. Rhinovirus caused cold are most infectious during the first 3 days of symptom. They are much less infectious afterward. Number 3. Weather. A common misconception is that one can catch a cold simply through prolonged exposure to cold weather. Although we know now that cold are viral infection, the prevalence of many such viruses are indeed seasonal, occurring more frequent during cold weather. The reason of the seasonality has not been conclusively determined. Possible explanation may include cold temperature, include changes in the respiratory system, decreased immune response, and low humidity causing an increase in viral transmission rate. Perhaps due to dry air allowing small viral droplet to disappear further and stay in the air longer. Number 4. Other. Herd immunity generated from previous exposure to cold viruses playing an important role in limiting viral spread as seen with younger population that have greater rates of respiratory infection. Poor immune function is a risk factor for disease. Insufficient sleep and malnutrition have been associated with a greater risk of developing infectious following rhinovirus exposure. This is believed to be due to their effect on immune function. Breastfeeding decreases the risk of acute otitis media and lower respiratory tract infection, among other diseases, and it is recommended that breastfeeding be continued when an infant has a cold. In the developed world, breastfeeding may not be protective against the common cold and of yourself. Diagnosis. The distinction between viral upper respiratory tract infection is loosely based on the location of symptoms, with the common cold affecting primarily the nose, throat, and lungs. There can be significant overlap and more than one area can be affected. The common cold is frequently defined as nasal inflammation, with varying amount of throat inflammation. Self-diagnosis is frequent. Isolation of the viral agent involved is rarely performed, and it is generally not possible to identify the virus type through symptoms. Prevention. The only useful way to reduce the spread of common cold virus are physically measures such as using correct hand washing technique and face mask. In the healthcare environment, gowns and disposable gloves are also used. Isolation or quarantine is not used as the disease is so widespread and symptoms are non-specific. There is no vaccine to protect against the common cold. Regular hand washing appears to be effective in reducing the transmission of cold viruses, especially among children. Whether the addition of antiviral and antibacterial to normal hand washing provides greater benefit is unknown. Wearing face masks when around people who are infected may be beneficial. However, there is insufficient evidence for maintaining a greater social distance management. Treatment of the common cold primarily involve medication and other therapies for symptomatic relief. Getting plenty of rest, drinking fluid to maintain hydration, and gargling with warm salt water are reasonable conservative measures. Much of the benefit from symptomatic treatment is, however, attributed to the placebo effect. No medication or herbal remedies had been conclusively demonstrated to shorten the duration of infection. Symptomatic treatment. Treatment that may help with symptoms include simple pain medication and medication for fever, such as ibuprofen and acetaminophen. It not clear acetaminophen helps with symptoms. It is not known over-the-counter medication are effective for treating an acute cough. Cough medication are not recommended for use in children due to lack of evidence support effectiveness and the potential for harm. Restricted the use of over-the-counter cough and cold medication in children 6 years and under due to concern regarding risks and unproven benefit. The misuse of dextromethorphan has led to its ban in number of countries. Intranasal corticosteroids have not been found to be useful. In adult, short-term use of nasal decongestant may help a small benefit. Antihistamines may improve symptoms in the first day or two. However, there is no long-term benefit and they have adverse effects such as drowsiness. Other decongestants such as pseudoephedrine appear effective in adults. Combined oral analgesics, antihistamine, and decongestants are generally effective for older children and adults. Ipratropium nasal spray may reduce the symptoms of a runny nose but has little effect on stuffiness. Ipratropium may also help with cough in adult. The safety and effectiveness of nasal decongestants used in children is unclear. Due to lack of studies, it is not known whether increased fluid intake improves symptom or shorten respiratory illness. Advice to avoid physical exercise if there are symptoms such as fever, widespread muscle aches, and fatigue. Antibiotic and antiviral treatment. Antibiotics have no effect against viral infection or against the virus that cause the common cold. Due to their side effect, antibiotics cause overall harm but are still frequently prescribed. Some of the reasons that antibiotics are so commonly prescribed include people's expectation for them, physicians' desire to help, and the difficulty of excluding complications that may be amiable to antibiotic. There are no effective antiviral drug for the common cold. Benefit of zinc in common cold. Zinc supplement may shorten the duration of cold by up to 33% and reducing the severity of symptom if supplementation begin within 24 hours of the onset of infection or the symptoms. Alternative medicine. While there are many alternative medicine and treatment used for the common cold, there is insufficient evidence to recommend for the against honey. Vitamin C effect on the common cold is disappointing. It is unknown if garlic is effective. A single trial of vitamin D did not find benefit. Thank you very much for watching this video.